So this is going to be a VR driving experience for the 2022 Mustang GT. Now this specific one is the 401A package. So we've got the fully digital dash, we've got our showstopper red interior. This is going to be good. Now a few things, toggle wise, we're going to make sure that I'm in the sport steering as well as the sport mode. It's going to be really, really nice. I talk about that sport mode all the time. What it's going to do is it's going to hold onto the RPM, so it's going to let it rev up a little bit higher, giving you an improved performance. So sportier performance, amazing, amazing feel to this thing. So good. I've got the exhaust in the track mode right now as well. So I'll change it out and then you'll hear different rumbles as we go. Oh, this is nice. Now, a few things. Because this is the 10-speed automatic transmission, this thing doesn't have a few things that you're going to find in some of the other versions of the vehicle. Oh, this is going to be trouble. Oh, no. This is going to be trouble. First drive of the season, and this thing in a Mustang, which is amazing. This thing, unfortunately, is not too broken in, so I'm gonna treat it a little nice. I'm gonna treat it nicely on this ride. It's rear-wheel drive. We're still technically in the winter here, but roads aren't too shabby right now, which is definitely a good thing. Oh, this is nice. So we can jump between different modes. So I just kind of flipped the shifter up. So got myself out of the manual driving modes, but we still do have the flexibility of adjusting the gear that we're in as we go, just using the minus and plus buttons on the steering column itself. Obviously, I've mentioned in the 10-speed automatic transmission, we do have the option in the Mustang for a 6-speed manual instead, and that manual is really, really nice. Like, especially when you get into the Mach 1 version of the vehicle, because that's when we get into the, there she is. Oh, that's a nice rumble. Oh, that's a nice rumble. As I was saying, with the 6-speed manual transmission, the GT is going to be the GetRag D4. When we look at the option for the Mach 1, that's going to be the Tremec instead. So Tremec, definitely better shifting there. It's way nicer in comparison to the regular GT. Not saying that the shifting inside of the GT is clunky or anything like that, but it's just a smoother shifting point inside of the other version of the vehicle. Now, one thing and one reason why I'm not going to push this thing too much right now, this thing's got the GT Performance package, which means that I've technically only got a summer-rated tire on this thing, so it's not going to have the greatest wheel grip by any stretch. So you're not going to hear me do burnouts, or I'm not going to do any sort of crazy driving. This is Canadian winter, realistically, so you want to make sure that, you know, this is a Canadian winter. There's a little pothole there. I'm like, oh no, don't dent the rims. One of the interesting things about being a Ford owner is that you do also have a tire warranty. And that's going to be what you get, a generic, so 2-year warranty, but you can upgrade that one. One of the cool things about that warranty is that if something happens, like, I don't know, let's say you hit a pothole and it breaks a rim, what's going to happen is, or breaks a tire, pops a tire, whatever the case may be, you do have road hazard coverage. So you would be able to get part of the tire covered off, or tire replacement. I think it's like $250, which typically is like more than the cost of a single replacement tire, depending on which version of the tires you've got. This thing's nice. This thing's really nice. Okay, let's go a little slower. It's just something that you don't want to do. Like, going slow in a Mustang GT, they just don't go together whatsoever. It's like jumbo shrimp. It's like an oxymoron, essentially. Like, it's just not something you want to do. But, I mean, having said that, so this thing's got the GT Performance package in there, which means that I've got a summer-rated tire inside of this thing. So it handles incredibly well in the summertime. In the wintertime, when roads are a little bit colder, you might do a little bit of fishtailing, like a tiny little bit. So you got to be careful. Obviously, being in Canada, or even if you're in any of those northern states and you are going to be using a Mustang year-round, you want to make sure that if you're using it year-round, you get winter tires. You can also throw some things in the back, so like boxes or bags of salt and things like that, essentially something to weigh it down, because the Mustang is only available, the gas Mustang is only available rear-wheel drive. We do have the option for the Mach-E Mustang, which is the electric Mustang that Ford introduced in 2021, and that thing is unbelievable. I've done some walk-around videos on that one as well, so if you're looking for a walk-around on the electric Mustang, check down below, but amazing, amazing ride. This thing is nice, though. This thing is really nice. Oh, this is good. It feels so weird driving so carefully inside of this thing, but it's like it's my baby, even though it's not. Somebody else's baby, soon to be. This thing, by the way, for sale through Yorkdale Ford in Toronto. Amazing dealership to work with. I like the license plate on this guy. Sheesh. So good. I love people's vanity plates. I'm always like, what is your reason behind your vanity plate? Like, it's kind of neat seeing some of these things sometimes. But it's tons of different options that are available for this thing. This specific one, like I mentioned, is the 401A GT. The Mustang is available as the EcoBoost, as the GT. We've got the Mach 1 and then the GT 500. So a lot of different options available. We do have a number of different things that we could look at as well. So we've got either the fastback, which is what this bad boy is, or you could get the convertible. The fastback, you're not going to have the option for a moonroof inside of the thing whatsoever. It's strictly going to be a convertible, but it's pretty dang nice all at the same time. Like the convertible, if you're never going to take your vehicle on the track whatsoever, and you're using it just for regular street driving, you could look at, if you're never going to track it, go for the convertible. Like, it's a lot of fun, but at the same time, if you're going to be tracking your Mustang instead, one of the things you want to look at is making sure you definitely get the fastback version of the car, because you can't take any sort of a convertible on the track safely. Oh, that sounds so nice. And I love that we can change around the sound of this thing as well. Like, oh, so I'm in normal mode. I thought it was in sport. So I'm in normal right now. I'm going to switch it out to sport mode. And that's all part of the active valve performance exhaust. So the Mustang's got the option for the active exhaust through the factory when you order your vehicle. And what that's going to do is let you essentially change the sound of the exhaust. It's kind of neat. It's got like active shutters inside of the actual tips, so it'll kind of open and close depending on the mode that you're in. But it is amazing. Like, it sounds absolutely incredible when you're in different modes. Like, we're in the sport mode right now, so it's a partially opened. When we're in the track mode, this bad boy is just like fully open, and it just sounds so mean. So mean, like, so mean. I love it, love it. I'm really, the showstopper red interior, the more and more I see it, this thing actually looks kind of neat, and it's so different from what you're typically going to find on the road. It's like most Mustangs that I see have the ebony interior. You do have the option for Recaro seats instead, and those Recaro seats are the ones that are going to hug the body a little bit nicer. So, I mean, which way you go is ultimately, I love this guy. Guy in a Camry acting all, oh, that's good. Oh, what's this guy doing? What you doing, clown? This guy's gonna cut over at a weird, I just feel it. This guy doesn't, people are weird. People are so impatient. So impatient. What do you do though? Like, you literally just have to laugh. That's all you can do. Oh, what do you do? I love the look of this thing though, like that digital screen. And one of the cool things about the digital screen is you've got the flexibility to completely change around the look and dynamics of it. So you can change around the color scheme, so many different things you can change around, but, oh, that's nice. Oh, that's nice, here we go. All right, gonna take this thing for a quick little rip, but because it's not broken in, I'm not gonna go too crazy with it. I'm gonna pull back a little bit, and the roads are a little bit cold, so let's see how she goes. 2 100 and beyond. I feel like Buzz Lightyear right now. All right, so I've got, oh, there we go, okay. So I've got the system turned on. There we go, yeah, that's not gonna work. Traffic is crazy, traffic is crazy. All right, so I've got the adaptive cruise control system turned on. I've got the speed technically right now set at 100. The vehicle though is like, I'm going less than 60. And the reason why is because the cars that are in front of me are going significantly slower than highway speed. And that's one of the beautiful parts of the adaptive cruise system. So it's part of the Ford Safe and Smart package inside of the Mustang. And it's going to be included in the 401 version of the GT, but it's that set it, forget it cruise. Like, I've got it set to 100. The cars in front of me are starting to speed up. So my car is starting to speed up, and watch this. Speeding up even more. I gotta get to do this. Oh my God, that's so good. So good. Oh my God, I love this thing. All right, I've also got the lane keeping system turned on as well. So that's the one that as I start to veer over, yeah, it's gonna gently nudge me back into the lane. I love the sound of that Mustang. Oh, and that's just the sport mode. When you get into the track mode, same thing. Changes up the complete dynamics of the sound of the ride. It is absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, it's so good. So good. I do love that in the automatic, we've got the option of changing out with our paddle shifters. It's a really nice feature to have, just giving you a little bit more control, because if you're not a big fan of, well, you don't even have to use them, and that's one of the cool things. Like if you've got paddle shifters in your car, you don't have to use them at all. You can just keep yourself in regular drive mode instead. What's this guy doing? What you doing, fella? There we go. Yeah, you can keep yourself just in regular drive mode instead. The vehicle's going to shift you out your 10-speed automatic transmission or a 6-speed manual transmission instead. Lots of options. I said it before, like this interior though, like the Showstopper red is beautiful. It's got a nice blue on the outside. So with like these blue highlights, the black highlights, and the red highlights, like I am literally driving the Spider-Man car right now. Like it's the GT performance package, so it's got like even better performance. It's like Spider-Man's like Tony Stark instant kill mode. Like that's exactly what this Mustang feels like right now. Like if this thing was on the track, instant kill all of the competition. So good, so good. I love the sound of this thing. Ugh, impressive. Now it still will sound good if you've got just the regular GT without the active valve exhaust. If you're contemplating getting the active valve, get the active valve exhaust. And the reason why is because you can't add it in the same way it would be at the factory aftermarket. There are some aftermarket kits that people have used to try to imitate the sound of it. It's fairly close, but to get the true active valve exhaust, just go for the one option from the factory. In Canada, it's like $1,000 to do it, but it changes up the complete dynamics of the ride itself. We can have it so that there's a quiet mode instead. So if your neighbors are snowflakes and you don't want to wake them up, you can make it so that it starts quiet later on, or earlier on in the morning, later on at night, whatever the case may be. This is nice though. This is really nice. This is comfortable. Comfortable drive, comfortable seats. So the Recaro seats are a good option as well. One of the downsides of the Recaro seats is that you do not have the option for heated and ventilated front seats whatsoever. So if you want the Recaros, just go in knowing heated ventilated seats are not going to be a thing whatsoever. But this is really nice. Really nice. These guys did a great job in this car. I freaking love it. I love it. Now I'm just gonna pull off here. Back her up. Now this one does have the reverse sensing system. We've got the option for the reverse sensors, no forward sensing system in this thing whatsoever, but watch this reverse sensor. And there she is. That was a 360 VR look at the 2022 Mustang going for a test drive. What did you think? I love this car, love the seats, love the look, the layout. This thing is absolutely amazing. And the more and more I drive this thing, the more and more in love with it I fall. But if you have any questions though, you run into any problems, you want some clarifications, or if you're thinking about getting a Mustang, drop down in the comment section below. Reach out to me on social media. We can bounce ideas off of each other. If you're in Ontario, reach out to me as well because I am local to Toronto. And if you've got a neat car, something that you want me to shoot, reach out. Let's hook up. Let's collaborate a little bit. But if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your social networks. And until I see you next time, take care.